Warren Buffett is generally recognized as the most successful and highly respected investor in the world. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, has provided excellent returns for its shareholders over many decades. So, what advice has Buffett given over the years to ordinary investors? Well, he certainly passed on plenty of it, both in interviews and in particular in his annual letter to shareholders. His advice essentially breaks down into 8 important lessons. Lesson number 1: develop good habits. Buffett puts much of his success down to having good habits. It's the same, he says, with saving and investing. The earlier you develop them, the better. The biggest mistake, he says, is not learning the habit of saving properly. Do not save what is left after spending. Instead, spend what is left after saving. Yes, it's a sacrifice to invest, but it's a sacrifice you make for a reason. Investing, Buffett says, is an activity in which consumption today is foregone in an attempt to allow greater consumption at a later date. Lesson number 2: think long-term. Buffett is a long-standing critic of short-termism in the investing industry. Wise investors, he says, have a very long time horizon. Someone sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. I never attempt to make money on the stock market, he says. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. In other words, be very patient. No matter how great the talent or efforts, Buffett says, some things just take time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. This long-term mindset naturally leads to another crucial principle. Lesson number 3: ignore market forecasts. No one can predict short-term market movements with any degree of accuracy. The only value of stock forecasters, Buffett says, is to make fortune tellers look good. Forecasts may tell you a great deal about the forecaster, they tell you nothing about the future. What's more, Buffett warns investors, predictions about the market are dangerous. Short-term market forecasts, he says, are poison and should be kept locked up in a safe place away from children and also from grown-ups who behave in the market like children. Speaking of people who might lead you astray, Buffett has strong words about another group. Lesson number 4: avoid salespeople. Buffett has repeatedly urged investors to be distrustful of product pushers, particularly those who claim to know which funds or sectors are going to outperform in the future. There's been far more money made through salesmanship abilities than through investment abilities, he says. And the people you pay to help identify future performers don't know how to identify them. They do know how to sell you. All the commercial push is behind telling you that you ought to think about doing something today that is different from what you did yesterday. You don't have to do that. You just have to sit back and let industry do its job for you. This skepticism about salespeople reflects a deeper wisdom about investing. Lesson number 5: know what you don't know. An important trait that investors should develop, says Buffett, is humility. Investors typically know less than they think they do and pay the price for it. What counts for most people in investing, he says, is not how much they know, but rather how realistically they define what they don't know. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. This humility leads naturally to Buffett's philosophy of keeping it simple, and that's lesson number 6. Buffett lives by a few simple rules, and he urges investors to do the same. Successful investing, he says, is far less complicated than many investment professionals make it look. There seems to be some perverse human characteristic that likes to make easy things difficult, he says. You only have to do a very few things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. And when it comes to keeping things simple, Buffett has a specific recommendation. Lesson number 7, use low-cost index funds. Despite being a poster boy for many in the active fund management industry, Buffett has consistently said over many years that investors are better off using low-cost index funds. Why? It's mainly down to fees. As Buffett says, performance comes, performance goes, fees never falter. Both large and small investors should stick with low-cost index funds. By periodically investing in an index fund, the know-nothing investor can actually outperform most investment professionals. Paradoxically, he says, when dumb money acknowledges its limitations, it ceases to be dumb. Finally, number 8, keep calm. Perhaps the most important lesson Buffett teaches investors, and certainly the one he focuses on the most, is the importance of developing the right temperament. You're dealing with a lot of silly people in the marketplace, he says. It's like a great big casino and everyone else is boozing. If you can stick with Pepsi, you should be okay. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. A willingness to look unimaginative for a sustained period, or even to look foolish, is also essential. No, investing isn't always easy, but take it from Warren Buffett, the basic ground rules are remarkably simple. If you found it helpful, why not leave a comment? And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you'll find hundreds of videos about investing. Until next time, goodbye.